Hello and welcome everyone to Y Caliber / other things, Rage of War, where nobody has any virulently contagious infections.
It's a very specific denial.
You know, I just
also
felt
that wasn't
that
a quiet one at all. That one was actually slightly louder in volume than the two of the game before it.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I hear is somebody talking about their full-blown chlamyrpies, so...
Yeah, sounds real bad. I feel terrible for the guy who has that. Anyways, my name is Mike. I will be playing today the role of Gyrax, the talking raptor lizard thing. Joining me is the ever-present ARP on Depp.
Hi.
Robot sheriff of some sort. We have... Yes, deputy, correct. We're also joined by our good friend Jared, playing the enigmatic rook, a human. That's his thing.
Not a sheriff.
It's real human.
No.
Yeah.
The reason his name is Depp is because he was a deputy.
Also
I just thought he
us,
liked Johnny Depp a lot.
Aww. Also joining us is not Johnny Depp, but Smug, playing Nicolas Cage as a wizard of some sort.
That's what I do.
I'm not 100% clear, but he's a cage wizard.
That's what I do.
That's his class.
Yeah, it's what I do.
Yeah.
Seriously, Mike's in a wind tunnel of some kind.
Yeah, I'm actually skydiving as we do this.
It's pretty extreme.
On the outside of a plane.
Yep. And we also have D. Davis playing Frazzlefuse, the pyromaniac goblin.
Wasn't Chlamyrpies
he's a
on
good
the
guy.
Cartoon Network? That's my question. I remember Chlamyrpies. That show was great.
And I'm not sure where D. Davis is just now. So not
He was
joining
just
us
talking.
is Feral Knights, who
Yes.
would normally be playing a very well-meaning robot arm girl who just destroys everything she touches.
I think he just
And
flat
finally
ignored
presiding over this mass of chaos and misery is
D.
Steve, the
Davis's
DM, the man
I
who
don't-
haunts my
I don't-
dreams.
I don't think that Mike can actually hear what anyone else is saying.
It's too much wind where he is.
I'm thinking my mic broke, so hold on.
His mic's fine. So running this...
He left.
Oh,
Did he
Did you guys
leave?
get all that?
Yeah,
we heard it.
We heard it. You just couldn't hear us.
Nope, sure couldn't. I'll have to rewatch that part on the stream, I guess.
you were very rude to Internet Celebrity D. Davis.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, D. Davis. I thought you weren't responding, so I thought I'd have a crack at you.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh. All right, but yes, we were playing some Eberron using the strike system. Last time, you guys were foisted off to the city of Thaliost, which is currently under Thranish rule. You're helping out a guy. I've officially decided to change his last name to Turducken because screw it.
Nice.
Baron Philippe Turducken.
You gotta sing it. Come on.
No.
Come on. Sound of music, that shit.
No. Anyway, he asked for your assistance in reclaiming the Jewel of Fire, which is a family heirloom of his. He had to leave it behind in Thalios once Thrain attacked the city, and now he wants to get it back. He has tracked it to being in the possession of one Archbishop Solgar Dorisdu, who is basically the kind of governor at the moment of Thalios. He took you guys with him to Thalios to stay in his summer home. You're all disguised as his obundsman, or is that the correct term? I don't know.
Something like that.
His servants.
Footman?
Oh,
It's footmen, yeah.
Bunsman.
We're not
Except for-
ombudsmen.
Ombudsman.
His bunsman.
We're footmen.
Footman,
Sounds
okay.
delicious.
His job is to massage the bun.
Except for Skylair, who's a maid, because that's just going to be how it goes. In addition to that, you guys poked around for some information. As I recall, you weren't terribly successful. You did find a back means of entrance into the Burnt Citadel, which is the giant fortress structure that is where Drisnu holds his office. That was courtesy of Depp. And then mostly Rook found out the larger picture of Thalios at the moment, basically uncovering that there's a large amount of unrest with the Onderan natives who, well, they're pretty resentful of Thranish control. And there is a group that takes it a bit further. They're called the Cinderwings, which I think is actually something Depp also found out. But asking about the Cinderwings, they're apparently a radical group that stages riots and attacks Templars, Paladins, and things like that. And it ended with Rook telling a tiefling bard named Majestic, where to find him, and hopefully to pass along a note, or a message rather, to the Cinderwing. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
Sure.
Sounds perfect.
I just want to say, I think of somebody who would call themselves Majestic, and my mind is immediately filled with the image of like a goth punk wearing a collar and studs all over himself who's still in high school.
Think more like a tiefling David Bowie.
When
That
I think
also
of
works.
someone who calls himself Majestic, I get a picture of Dennis Reynolds.
Did you say Dennis Reynolds?
Yeah,
That's what he said.
Wow.
you know.
Smug looks at the framed copy of his picture on his desk and gets very offended.
All right, so when Rook went ahead and talked to Majestic, it's already late in the day. Would you guys have just retired to Turducken's manor?
I think so. I know clue hunting makes Gyrax very tired.
I would definitely have just retired in general at that point.
Yeah, Depp hangs up his badge.
Will, nice
He's got a
meeting
yacht.
you.
He doesn't even like yachts, but he has one.
So
more
basically,
into yurts.
basically, when Rook came back and told you that he knows a tiefling bard named Majestic, Depp just quits right there.
Yep, I'm done. Well, nice knowing you.
All right.
But for serious, let's go take a nap. You fleshy people need some.
Well, if you want to do something else, we can handle that first. If not, I'll move on. All right, we're moving on. So, you guys head back to Turducken's. Rooms are provided for you, of course. They're not quite as nice as his home back at Fairhaven, but, they'll do.
All right.
More towards, not quite midnight, a caller, with an A, calls upon the house, and essentially the actual servants see him in, and he talks to Turducken, and eventually Turducken brings you guys in to also talk to him. And as you guys file into his room, or if any of you choose to join him, it proves to be a elderly gnomish gentleman who is sitting across from Turducken's desk, looking very, a little tired, but generally very calm.
That's good. Let's hang out. Who wants
Yeah,
to?
let's do that.
Yeah.
Montage.
Let's
Yeah,
play
go-
Twister.
Fine, go ahead.
Whoever's in the room, he basically turns to look, nods to himself, and says, you are the people who left the message with that bard, yes?
That's us.
That would be correct.
My name is Billiam, and I'm here on behalf of the Cinderwings. I hear you have a question for them.
Do we know what Cinderwings are?
Basically, Depp and Rook combined found out that it's the rebel group, the
Okay.
Undarin rebel group here in Thalios.
Yep.
He looks expectantly.
We're actually trying to find out. We need some intelligence about the governor, the archbishop, as we intend to rob him.
The Billiam's eyebrows, which are very bushy, by the way, go up, and he nods along and says, "Rob him, I see. You have some ambition."
Well, we don't like to do anything halfway.
Clearly.
He has an item of particular importance to a friend of ours,
I see.
and we intend to relieve him of his ill-gotten gains, taken in the Thranish sack of the city.
At that, he just kind of clicks his tongue a little bit and looks down. You can tell he's not a Cinderwing just because it's idealistic. He don't like these people. But Billiam kind of nods and goes, "I see. And what can I do for you in terms of that?"
We're wondering what you know of the Archbishop's habits, if he has any residences away from the Citadel.
As far as I am aware, which is, of course, not very aware, he spends most of his time in the Burnt Citadel. Simply in the upper floors, though. In fact, if you look at it from the outside, you can actually see the top of the tower. That is his.
Up at the top of the tower, eh?
Dead center. It's like basically the most fortified area in the entire Citadel.
Sounds like a challenge.
It would be.
If only one of us had a jetpack.
What's that?
God damn it! What's a jet? Well, it's concentrated spray or something, isn't it?
It's an argonescent invention. Very useful.
If only you could fly.
Yeah, you could probably fly if.
Like a real dragon.
Yeah.
I could probably set something up for you to fly. It wouldn't
Oh,
be
no, that
pleasant.
is quite alright, Vassal.
It'd be very unpleasant. In fact, it would hurt so much.
Yes, I desire to avoid
Billiam while this is all happening.
It's very.
I forget
very
the name
Hudson
of the
Hawk
guy,
of you.
but like the guy who always said very expensive, and Doug. That's who I now picture with Gyrax.
That's
Mr.
Mr. Dink, yeah.
Mr. Dink. So Gyrax is now Mr. Dink. I'm sorry.
Very expensive.
Well, failing that, do you have any contacts inside the Burnt Citadel?
No, as a matter of course, people who, well, my group tries to kill tend not to like to associate with me.
Seems reasonable.
Good resistance groups. I don't have any inside intelligence. See, I was hoping that we could find some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement in this, that we'd be able to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we wouldn't ask you to help simply out of the kindness of your heart.
Naturally.
We intend, in our actions, if we can in any way aid your organization in helping to relieve some of the burden on Thaliost, we'd be more than happy.
Billiam seems to be more of a guarded character. He kind of thinks about this for a moment and kind of furrows his bushy eyebrows and goes, And what is it that, if you'll forgive me, a pair or a set of relative strangers could do for us, do you think?
Well, if we're going to be breaking into the very top of the Burnt Citadel, what is it that we could do for you?
He thinks about that for a moment. So you're saying if I told you to kill Solgar Dorizno, you'd do it?
God damn it, I knew that was coming.
Just out of character second, that is the Archbishop's name, right?
Yes, it is.
Uh-oh. Think we may have bitten off more than we can chew.
What's the Sophie's Choice we have here?
It's not a Sophie's Choice.
It's not a Sophie's Choice.
What's the choice we have here?
Basically, this guy may help us if we offer to kill the Pope while we're robbing him.
I thought a Pope is an Archbishop.
An Archbishop, fine.
That's way smaller.
And the Archbishop seems to be kind of a douche.
So he's going to
He's
get
a
us
douche.
access if we off him?
He hasn't really been very vocal about what he can do for you.
Well, if the assistance you can offer is commensurate with that sort of a task, certainly.
He thinks about it a little bit more. Turducken is he's in the room, by the way, and he's just kind of like listening to this. Little flabbergasted, but not really protesting, per se.
And he's roasting in his own 3 meat juices.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, now that you say that, I just picture him like hedonism bot, and he's just like basting himself.
Stick a weird
Damn,
term.
1%ers.
Basting himself in public. What a pervert.
Man, most foul!
You gotta baste yourself responsibly.
He'd go blind if he does that too much.
Eventually, Billiam speaks and says, well, of course, we're simply speaking hypotheticals here. It's not as if I just asked you to go kill the Archbishop. That would be treasonous. So, instead, why don't we have a little test? It won't be difficult or anything. We just want to see what you'll do. Essentially,
I excelled at tests at the academy.
essentially, tomorrow night at a little after dark, just before the 8th bell, we will be staging an attack on the Ashenale. And it will be bloody. Trust me on that.
Will you be bringing your own blood?
Probably, but hopefully we won't leave any there. And, well, as for what you do with that information, I suppose we'll see. As for afterwards, if we like what happens, then maybe we'll call upon you again and we can talk business. Does that sound agreeable?
What do you all
Very
think?
well.
Since he keeps mentioning the whole kill this guy thing, am I able to use my brain powers to see what his motive behind killing the bishop is?
Well, you can take a pretty easy guess at that. I mean, the bishop is a douche.
But he's also a duke.
Probably. But he's a douchebag. He is very tough on Darren's. And of course, this guy is from the group that is opposing Thrainish control of Thaldios. So, I mean, him wanting the Duke, or damn it, the Archbishop gone. It's
late,
pretty
he's a
obvious.
duke now.
He is a Duke, Archduke, fine, whatever. But no, him wanting Driznu gone, that's a pretty obvious guess. But, I mean, if you want to try looking for something deeper than that,
Trying to just discern whether there is anything deeper in there.
all right.
There's gotta be more motive to it than just that. That almost sounds altruistic.
Sure, you can totally do a mind scan on it.
Or can I?
You can. You totally
How I-
are. You
How
picked
I
that.
know you're not lying to me? I'm totally
Well,
not
because-
buying time as I find the sheet for that.
Just roll a
How do you
1d6.
know his mind isn't booby-trapped?
Yeah,
no.
if it
His
explodes,
brain's a mimic.
If it goes under 60.
That's not even Nicolas Cage. That's Keanu Reeves.
They're all the same. Come on.
All right, fair enough.
All right, that was you then, the 3?
Yeah, I'm a smug kind of guy.
Okay, for some reason the name is not showing up for me, but...
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, it's because I did the thing above it.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you rolled a 3, so that means you get to either read all their surface thoughts and know what they are thinking right now, or you can probe for one particular thing by asking a question. And in addition to that, you must also pick that they know you were reading them, or there is a flaw in what you get.
I'm gonna go with he's gonna know that I'm reading him, and yeah, let's ask him the question of why he's so intent on getting this guy killed.
Okay.
It's not hard to tell that he's reading him because he stares at you real intently and puts his fingers to the side of his head.
Magtesh just walks up and kind of grabs his chin.
It
and
gets-
turns him
Because the
around.
Vulcan
weird.
mind meld.
Just
Your
hold still
thoughts
for a second.
Are my thoughts. I don't know how the rest of that goes.
Pharaoh would know.
Fair
My
away.
mind
thought
to
you were
your
about to
mind.
do it.
My mind to your mind. My thoughts to your thoughts. Come on, guys.
Fucking nerd.
Damn!
Get your
We
shit.
just got-
Get
we
your
just
shit
got-
together.
What's a Vulcan?
It's an elf.
Yeah, we
It's
just
a
got
Roman
so-
god. Jeez, God.
Oh.
All right, so Billiam is clearly surprised all of a sudden. He's like blinking his eyes, and it's well, for the rest of you, it's probably really obvious what just happened.
The Gyrax.
Yeah, because Mochtesh leaned forward and put his fingers to his temple like Professor Xavier.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
Sean
he did
Spencer.
that. He did that lean forward, put 2 fingers on the temple kind of thing, and he's in a wheelchair.
That's the weird part.
Mochtesh, you find out that Billiam, in fact, does not want Darisnu dead.
He's a double agent.
Wait,
No,
no, what?
you don't get that impression from him. It's just the impression you get from him is that he's very tired of killing, and that goes for Darisnu.
Man, these guys are pussies.
All right. So that's what I.
Well, how much time have you spent in an insurgency, Mike?
Well, I've
We
made
don't-
a lot of flame posts on the internet.
We don't talk about Mike's time in Syria.
Also, this
Yeah.
guy is older. He's probably a gnomish equivalent of a 60-year-old human, and it's pretty obvious guess that he was involved in the last war. How, you don't know, but almost everyone was. So he probably was a soldier or something, maybe.
Actually, as soon as Mochtesh touches him with his fingers, he mutters under his breath, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
Yeah, he is Danny Glover.
Billiam doesn't really
As a
react
gnome.
hostilely. He just kind of raises his eyebrows and looks questioningly at Mochtesh.
You gotta answer my question.
He just does that sometimes.
So you're
please
tired of it all,
refrain.
huh?
I suppose I am. What did you... He just kind of looks a little befuddled.
It's okay. And Mochtesh just leaves it at that and kind of walks away.
Really awkward moment for all of us.
Weird guy.
Billiam just looks even more confused. It's like,
I mean,
Sometimes he does that to me while I sleep.
right, I do, but that's another story. I mean, look at it this way. You get us in there, whether we kill him or not, we're gonna knock him down low. His prized jewels taken.
It will harm his image.
It'll just be a matter of time before someone else puts a dagger right in his face.
it takes his face off.
Don't understand that reference.
Yeah, weirdly morbid then.
Just went to a dark place.
Yeah.
Billiam starts shaking his head and hops off the chair and says, "This is not the issue at the moment. I understand that you are all very skilled individuals, clearly." He kind of glances at Mochtesh. But-
Are we, though? Has he heard about our major cock-up down south?
Probably
No.
not.
All right, good job.
Which is
We did a great job.
Yeah, I seem to remember us doing great.
I stand
Everyone
by our
knows
word.
about us now.
You actually did do a pretty good job in terms of completing the job. You just weren't very discreet about it.
And we killed an abomination, which is A+ in Gyrax's book.
That's true. In any case, he shakes his head and says, "No, it's not about your skills. It's about trust. We don't know you. You're strangers. You come in here and you want us to believe that you're going to fight for Onderan liberation. It's just too much of a stretch, which is why we're going to test you."
We ain't here fighting for anybody's liberation, but our goals line up with yours. We
That's
need
fine.
your help. You all need ours. Just a matter of
That-
expediency.
Sounds like he might be disagreeing on that point, but
Is he really going to disagree with a robot? Come on.
yeah, they're
He
very
is.
logical, you know.
I calculated that answer to be correct with my computer brain.
Computer.
It's made of wood.
He just shakes his head and says, well,
We are not opposed to being tested. I enjoy tests.
as for whether we need your help or not, I'm not sure about that. From where I'm standing, you need our help.
Well, if you ain't looking for any assistance and you're happy to go and risk your own lives without any disposable outsiders, that's fine too.
He nods his head and says, that's exactly what we've been doing.
How's it working out? You liberated yet? Ooh, guess not. So you could use some help.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
What a
Man,
sad
Deb's saucy today. Maybe we need to give him some WD-40 into those
Damn.
joints.
Well, he
should
doesn't take very
run it.
kindly to that, so he just kind of nods his head and says, we've given you the information. We'll see what you do with it. And he'll leave unless you prevent it.
I'm preventing. I don't like this guy.
All right. He toddles on out then.
Depp manages to tip his hat sarcastically.
Damn, Depp. You feeling rusty?
That man is an asshole.
Damn.
Everyone
And he's
is an
dishonest.
asshole. So is everyone else.
I ain't never seen anybody so quick to turn down help, which makes me question his own dedication to his cause.
Well, he is trying to get us to murder the most powerful man in town.
Didn't your brain scan say that he didn't actually want that guy dead?
Yes.
Which
Oh,
is why.
I thought he did want him dead. He's just tired of it all.
No, that's why Depp's pissed off. This guy's like, oh, you better kill this guy for me, but doesn't actually want him dead.
Or maybe he was just asking to.
I figured
As a
he was
test
just
on its
like,
own.
yeah.
Yeah, well, Depp doesn't take kindly to that crap. He spent
Depp
most of
doesn't
his
like
life
tests.
most of his 3 years of life being manipulated by jerks.
He had to pass the Turing test not to get, like, discombobulated, so, you know, maybe not a big fan.
So what do we want to do with this information?
I think we should go through with their test. Because he didn't give us any information.
Well, he told us that the guy is in the tower.
Right, but we don't have a great way of getting into that tower.
Clearly what you should do is jack an airship.
Or we could try and build some hang gliders and try and catch drafts of hot air across the city until we can ride into the tower. You know.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Wingsuits?
I'm all for wingsuits.
Grapple guns?
And find Leonardo da Vinci and try out his new bird machine. And everyone, rather than looking up at it in awe, is just shooting at you for no reason. Best part of that game.
Those are all good ideas.
But yeah, he didn't expressly tell you what to do with the test, so to speak. He just wants to see what you're going to do with the information that he gave you.
He also, I don't know, he seems to be implying that there isn't any help he can offer.
Well, he doesn't seem to want outsiders involved in their little revolution. I imagine they've got some nationalism issues going on and pride and all that.
That's true, and none of us here are from Ondair, right?
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Not any of us. Okay.
Not that we know of. So, and the question is, do we want to try and come up with a plan on our own to try and get to the top of that tower? I mean, going from the entrance that Depp found all the way up to the top of the most secured tower is, I don't know.
That would be difficult.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of physical ways that we can gain entry into the tower. Just looking at it, the only thing I could imagine to get in through would be subterfuge, and we're not really a party that's capable of subterfuge, I would say, just due to our diversity.
So maybe we should do a bit of a stakeout first. put a watch on that tower now that we know where he begins. And
I'll go buy a telescope.
well, I've got telescope eyes, but
Oh, right.
put a watch
And Depp doesn't sleep.
and see, if he leaves, and if so, try and figure out where he goes.
All right.
Maybe we need to get Frazzlefuse to build us some gliders.
What? Gliders aren't chemical.
Gliders.
I love it. Let's get that Pavarotti guy.
Maybe the next glide will be the glide home.
Or at least to the top of the tower.
You keep gliding and then just crashing into different places. Old school
And we
science
run
fiction.
We run into the guy from Quantum Leap.
Now we're just merging shows.
Yeah, we are.
Genre mixing alert. Woo woo.
And then the Stargate opens.
Oh. Alright, so I'm going to use my observation skills to go and watch the tower with my robot eyes.
All right. The first thing from that, though, is you'll have to find a place to actually see it.
Okay.
It's really high up, and there are no really good buildings that are, well, there's none that are that high. That's for one.
Could I use my streetwise to attempt to find somewhere within the city, or does this mean I have to go outside the city?
Well, probably you could at least find someplace where you could see the tower itself, but as for a good view, that would be difficult.
Okay.
Because you have to get up on the roof, right? And of course, if it's an owned building or something like that, it'll be difficult to convince people to let you be up on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So, streetwise would work for locating a building first.
Well, I'll try that then.
All right.
Depp will go out and hit the bricks while the team is napping or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, apart from napping, do we want to play the long game and try to infiltrate this place in a variety of outfits?
A variety of colorful outfits?
Well, maybe.
Well, I think first our weak biological bodies would probably be sleeping.
It's true. Depp, however, will totally find a cool, tall building that allows him to see it. And in fact, as he goes in there, it's a probably an Onderan Warforged who owns the shop. And he is totally happy to see Depp because there aren't any Warforged in this shop, or in this city.
They do their secret Warforged handshake.
They do. And he, you probably ask him to go up on the roof, and he doesn't even, question it. He's just like, sure.
Excellent.
You can come and go as you please, brother.
Thank you kindly, sir. I appreciate your cooperation.
It probably owns a cheese shop with a, it's a cheese shop combination home, and it's pretty tall.
Do you say cheese shop?
Yeah, he sells a variety of cheese wheels.
All right, Moktesh is also there eating cheese.
Since the cheese was made by somebody who has no need to eat, it tastes terrible.
You could follow a recipe.
But he doesn't have any taste buds. He can't tell if it worked or not.
Look, he might be a purpose-built
It's rat cheese.
cheese-making Warforged.
But I always drink plenty of
One of his
malt.
hands is a grater.
He's a cheese forged. He has special wooden taste buds.
Love it. And he's made out of cheese.
That would be a golem.
Plot twist.
A cheese
Oh,
golem.
shit!
And then the bard leaps in.
Created by a Tyromancer.
Now let's see what you can do with your observation roll.
All right. Depp
I'm going to give
telescopes his
you
eyes.
advantage on this roll, too, because you rolled 6.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
You gotta make all 3 telescoping sounds.
All right.
One of those is a success.
Yeah, you used the higher one, so 4 is
Yeah.
just a straight success, no cost.
Excellent.
All right, so you spend the night basically staring very intently at this tower. The first thing you discover, well, it's not the first thing, but it's the thing that's very noticeable, is that there's a light on in the tower and it never goes out, ever.
Okay.
It's also quite difficult to get a clear view of who's inside of it from this distance because, well, the the Citadel itself is very big, and of course this building isn't the closest one. It's the tallest one. But you can see at least two shapes in there. One, you can't really tell which one is which, but there's one that is always in that room. Like, always, always, always.
Right.
But there's another one that goes in and out very frequently.
Like some kind of piston.
Yes.
So there's a light on in this room, and the room always has one person in it, and sometimes another person.
Yeah, and usually that person is just coming and going at all hours of the night.
And the other person's not moving around much?
No, mostly you can probably tell the sitting behind a desk, it seems like.
Depp is going to be wondering if this person is there by choice, or if they're, like, not able to leave, if that's why they're there all the time.
Unknown.
Nobody seems to be leaving the actual tower grounds?
You can't really see that much.
Okay, so just, there's the room.
The walls are very high. So basically it's like, walls like a fortress, and the tower's in the center of it. So seeing down into the walls, you can't do that much.
Alright, that's fair. Well, that's good information. So one keeps coming in and out, the other one sits at a desk. All night.
All night. All night long.
Well, I guess when day hits, I'll start heading back to the manor. And report back to the fleshy folks when they start to wake up.
Sounds good to me.
I'll let them know, hell, there's two folks up in the top of that tower. One of them's at a desk, the other one keeps coming in and out as if they can't make up their mind. I want to be in a place... fibers.
You mean clothes?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Them, human husks. What you call them?
So nobody else the whole time?
Just the two of them all night. One light on, one on the desk, other one in and out.
And naturally, I mean, this isn't important information, but naturally that lamp was silver.
Silver lamp,
Of course.
Naturally. So, even if we could somehow fly up there, it'll be difficult to sneak in, as there's someone always in there. But I gotta wonder if that person's there by choice. They didn't move at all.
Maybe they're dead.
Well, I should clarify, they did move around the room, but they didn't ever leave it.
Alright, well, they ain't dead unless they undead.
Was it the...
Well, that's entirely possible.
That's why Depp left that option open.
The Archbishop is a lich.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The Arch-Lich up.
Was it him?
Secretly a member of the Blood of Vol.
Wouldn't that be a contradiction of their articles of faith?
Well, it's not a real possibility that we're really considering. It's just,
Oh. Very well, then. Proceed.
Garrick looks sad. Oh.
I was hoping to find a heresy. So how do we want to proceed?
Well,
Really depends on whether we want to go the quick way or the long way.
How much of a rush are we in to get back?
None. We're trying to lay low for a while.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Better do it safe than fast. And we'll still be done before these jokers manage to liberate themselves.
You've spent all night dwelling on that, haven't you?
I spent all night watching a room.
So
Camera
did
1,
I.
camera 2, camera 3.
Alright, so we can do this the long way where...
It's like a backwards 5 Nights at Freddy's because he's the animatronic.
And Maktesh is dressed as a bear.
And that's that.
All right, so I mean, if we want to do this the long way,
Mm-hmm.
we can set up a long con.
So, like, Gyrax can be a visiting dignitary from Arganessen, and you can be his retinue.
Oh shit, we're gentlemen bastarding this.
Except none of us are any good at that.
Yeah.
We don't know. We might become good at that through this process.
That's
You
true.
could entirely roll unskilled things and learn them.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I do have fast talking as a trained skill.
There you go. That's really all we need.
Sure.
I mean, it sounds like we could start that up. The other half of it is that we need an escape plan, and we need stuff in place for such a thing, particularly if / when we get stuck at the top of that tower.
I would like to put Frazzlefuse in charge of our escape plan.
So maybe Frazzlefuse needs to gain employment.
As a forklift operator.
It's not Shenmue.
Yeah, they have to
was-
pick up forks.
That's like real life. What are you talking about?
I no longer have any
He did operate
connection.
a forklift in real life.
That was a forklift operator.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
does.
there you go.
But did that help you find any sailors?
No.
Found a lot of semen though.
Oh,
Come on.
what does that mean?
Ah,
A lot of Transformers fans worked with that forklift.
Oh.
I don't like it.
anyway, that's kind of my thought is that I mean if we want to do the like have like half or 4 of us infiltrate in as the fake priest of Dino Town and his man slaves, I'm guessing. It's gonna be something weird and sexual like that.
Why?
We'll have to pick up some GIMP gear for everybody.
Yeah.
This isn't Mad Max.
Isn't it?
No.
That would be Dark
And
Sun.
then, yeah, and
That's
then
true.
And then 2 of us have got to have a big falling out with the guy we're here as his butlers, gain employment at the fortress, and then we can start putting stuff into play to escape, probably explosives and or bat gliders.
So before we come up with our clever plan, I'm going to put a break.
Just
the
ridiculous,
episode.
elaborate,
I love it.
So
ridiculous, overly elaborate ideas.
until
Complicated.
next time, all the best.